What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the man, the myth, the legend, the ConMan, and today we're going to be talking about some changes to Ruanmei's kit and some nerfs on Dr.Ratio and other deets like that have been leaked about 1.6, the upcoming patch. So, let's get into it. So, here are the Ruanmei changes right in front of you. I'll reiterate myself so that you guys understand. So, her skill String sings slow swirls. Overtone now lasts for 3 turns instead of 2. Overtone now increased damage by 32% instead of generating a simple speed boost, which is amazing. This is an amazing buff. I personally thought that the speed boost was kind of like, who cares? But now that it has been turned into damage bonus, is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. This is now a must pull character. Think about this. Bronya and Ruanmei in the same team. That would be crazy. Anyway, let's continue. So, her skill Petals to Stream Reapers in a Dream. The names are so weird, I have to say. Anyway. So, all allies' resistance penetration has been buffed to 30% instead of 20%, which is great. And then Thanatoplum Rebloom now delays enemies' action by an additional 5%, basically 25% in total. I think no, 20% now. Before it was 15% action delayed. Anyway, so dealing break damage equal to 50% of Ruanmei's ice break damage. That is really cool. Basically, what that means is that the more break effect you build up on her, the more damage this will do. Anyway, let's continue. So, somatotypical helix. This new version of the skill has been reworked to increase the speed stat of all party members, except Ruanmei. That makes sense. This is kind of a nerf in my opinion. So because everybody is getting their action advanced except for Ruanmei. Attacking a weakness break enemy triggers additional ice damage is equal to 100% of ice break damage. Okay, basically break effect is a must build on her, but that is concerning. Why? Because then we won't be able to put in the energy recharge regeneration rope, which makes me consider how do I like maximize using her ult all the time. But then again, her skill is good enough, so maybe I don't have to use the ult, but I'm thinking about that maximum min-max potential where you can just ult and then the ult effects are right there, and then the ult recharges before the ult effects are about to go off, and then you ult again, and then you can continuously just maximize your damage, which is the most important thing after all. So yeah. That is a concerning change, because now Ruanmei is going to be behind her entire team in terms of her speed and how many times she can go. Anyway, so now let's talk about the constellations or eidolons. There have been changes to our eidolons. Me personally, I never get any eidolon of any character because I'm free to play. But of course, to those who may it concern, Neuronic Embroidery. See, her Eidolon 1 completely reworked to increase the damage output of all allies under the influence of her ultimate. Damage now ignores 20% of the enemy defense. So basically, if you have her and you have Pela, that would be pretty sweet of a combo. Then you would have a total 60% enemy defense shred, which would be great if you have her Eidolon 1, of course. Now let's continue. Her Eidolon 2, Reed Side Promenade. Attacking enemies with weakness break increases ally attack by 40%. Now they did not really specify if the ally attack increases after you have attacked an enemy with weakness break or as soon as you attack, that's when the buff happens. So basically, does the buff happen after she attacks, or does the buff happen on her attack? Something like that has not been specified, but it's probably going to be after she attacks, the next ally that's attacking has 40% bonus damage. Probably like that. Anyway, So let's talk about her Iron 4. Chatoyant Eklat. Successfully applying weakness break to a foe will boost Ruan Mei's break effect potency by 100% for 3 whole turns. Okay, so basically what this means is that whenever you apply weakness break on an enemy, Ruan Mei's break effect potency increased by 100%, which means that break effect's damage is increased by 100%, which is crazy, kind of. That's like double damage, literally. Anyway, so let's continue about the Eidolon 6. Sash Cascade. So the ultimate field has its duration extended by another turn, and break damage bonus of her talent is buffed to 200%. So that's 3 times the damage. Crazy Eidolons. But then again, Eidolons are literally made so that you can just push through any content without any hardships whatsoever. You can finish the entire game on auto if you have Eidolon 6 of every 5-star character that you have. Anyway, so that's with the Ruan Mei changes. Now let's go over Dr.Ratio skit once, because why not? So Dr.Ratio is right here. If there are any future changes, I will let you all know. But right now let's talk about how his skill is. So it deals imaginary damage equal to 150 of Dr.Ratio's attack on target. Basically all of the scaling that I'm mentioning right now, it is all based on his level 10 scaler. Level 10 of the skill, level 10 of the ultimate, level 10 of the talent, okay? Now, it launches imaginary damage on a single opponent. Okay, so basically that's the ultimate. Scaling to 240 of Dr.Ratio's attack. He further launches his talent's follow-up attacks. Once against a target afflicted with Wise Man's Folly, the effect can be triggered up to 2 times, and the count resets after launching his ultimate. So it's like a stacking thing, basically. When you have the more stacks you have, the more times you can do the follow-up attack. When the stacks are gone, you need to use his ultimate again so that the count resets and becomes 2 again, if you understand what I mean. Comparable to Dan Heng's kit, but instead of using it as extra skill points, those are just extra attacks of follow-up attacks that he does. Okay, so his talent. When Dr.Ratio uses his skill, he has a 40% fixed chance to launch a follow-up attack against a target, dealing imaginary damage equal to 270% of his attack. He increases follow-up chances by 20% for each debuff afflicted on the enemy. The maximum stackable count from his passive increases by 4, and he immediately obtains the maximum stack when the battle begins. That is his Eidolon 1. And basically what his talent does is that 40% fixed chance to hit up a follow-up attack against a target when he uses his skill. That means if you use his skill, there's a 40% chance that, more damage, which is kind of dumb. Why don't you make it 50% chance so that it feels more fair? But okay, I guess. Then dealing imaginary damage equal to 270% of his attack on that follow-up attack, which is cool. And then he increases his follow-up attack chance by 20% for each debuff afflicted on the enemy. Okay, so basically you can increase the chance of the follow-up attack if the enemy has Wind Shear or Quantum Weakness Break or anything like that. So this works really well with Ruan Mei. Which is pretty cool. Now let's talk about the Eidolon 1. So maximum stackable count for his passive is increased by 4. So instead of 2, it's now 4. So double follow-up attacks. He immediately obtains the maximum stack when the battle begins. So it starts on 4, which is cool. Eidolon 4, Dr.Ratio regenerates 15 energy upon activating his talent. Which is pretty cool. That means every follow-up attack means 15 energy, 15 energy, 15 energy, which will just bump up his ult, and then you can just spam his ult constantly after every turn. And his Eidolon 6, so increase the trigger count of Wise Man's Folly, the follow-up attack, by 1, and boost the damage of his follow-up attacks by 50%, which is pretty busted in my opinion. But honestly, this is nothing compared to Ruan Mei. This is like really weak compared to Ruan Mei. But we'll see. He's a hunt character, so maybe the single target damage really needs it. So, without further ado, let's continue to the confirmed 1.6 banners. Okay, so here are the banners. So the first half is going to be Ruan May and Blade. Second half is going to be Dr.Ratio and Kafka. Who told you this? I did not. You just had a dream. Remember that, guys. I didn't tell you anything. Anyway, so let's continue. That will be all for today. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all got informed. Hope this video was helpful to you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.